I'm Anisha Dervais, the founder of the Power to Break Free Foundation. I'm excited today to tell you about my book, The Power to Break Free, Surviving Domestic Violence, with a special reference to abuse in Indian marriages. I published this book in 2012 after surviving a 7-year abusive marriage, and it really took me a long time to recognize that I was a victim of abuse. Writing down my thoughts and emotions and documenting the abuse, and found I had a lot of content, and that's what inspired me to create the book, was to organize that content and to create more of a resource for other women who were also seeking answers. How did this happen to me? And that's really what I wanted to answer, because I realized that if abuse could happen to me, someone who was intelligent and well-educated and confident and believed in women's rights, that abuse could happen to anybody. And this is something that's 100% preventable, and I wanted to be able to share that. How can we prevent this? So I essentially wrote the book for me that I wish I had read before getting married. And I wish that I could have prevented this by understanding the red flags and the signs of abuse and the abuser's mentality. That was something that was not available to me. And when I recognized finally that I needed to get out of this situation, reading books about abuse really helped to empower me, really helped to stop the crazy making and understand there's a pattern here of what is happening. So I wrote this book in 3 parts. The first part is called The Psychology of Abuse. And in this section, I talk about just shattering these ideals of marriage, all the hope and the expectation we have as we enter into a relationship like this, especially as an Indian woman, if it's an arranged marriage or the family is involved, there might be a lot of other expectations and burdens that are placed on a woman. I talk about how to recognize the signs of abuse, the cycle of violence, the abuser's inner world, and all the steps that are taken for a man to eventually become an abuser, whether it's witnessing that in his childhood or other factors that come into play. I also talk about the 9 steps it takes for a woman to become a victim. How is systematically we lose our power, we lose our voice, we feel like we're going crazy, we can't understand what's happening. And then how in that cycle of violence the abuse is perpetuated, that this systematically happens by denying your emotions and your symptoms and what's happening. I talk about the challenges of separating from your abuser and how he might still try to control you. The role and support of community and the community's call to action, all the different ways a community can support a woman, because oftentimes women feel rejected by the people that they reach out to for help. And then I talk about the stages of breaking free and what it takes to really heal and recover from the trauma and abuse of a marriage. In part 2 of the book, I talk about my fight for freedom and all of the details of how I was systematically broken down, the cultural expectations and the role of being an Indian wife, and the stigma of divorce in my community, and how that really held me back for a long time from breaking free from the marriage. And in part 3 of the book, I write about voices of other Indian women. And so it was important to me to interview other Indian women to tell their stories. There's a lot of myths and misperceptions about Indian women that this only happens in arranged marriages or low socioeconomic marriages. And the truth is, abuse is the same and plays out in all of these different levels, with just some details rearranged, but the theme of the abuse remains the same. Man's desire and ability to control and have power over a victim. And this is something that is completely preventable. So I hope you'll take a look at my book, The Power to Break Free, Surviving Domestic Violence. There is also a companion trauma workbook for women as well. And you can find more resources at our website, thepowertobreakfree.com. and also on Instagram at Power to Break Free, where we share educational content to help prevent gender violence and help women lead lives of dignity. Thank you so much.